Good afternoon, you beautiful, wonderful people. I tell you what, it will never, ever get boring talking about Manchester City beating Man United 2-1 in an FA Cup final. Say that outside. Say it out loud to yourself. Just think about what we just did yesterday, what we just went through. City beat United at Wembley in a cup final, an FA Cup final, and it was absolutely wonderful. One of the best days I've had watching football. Really that wonderful, that brilliant. Hello, of course, to everyone who's already here in the chat. This, of course, is 5 things that we learned from Manchester City's FA Cup success yesterday at Wembley. It's wonderful, an honour, a genuine honour to talk about this Manchester City side, and I cannot wait to dive into the topics today. Of course, there is loads of other content I chatted about this morning as well. I did a fan view live, I did the watch long, I did a reaction. I am milking the shit out of this because I feel like milking the shit out of this because I will never ever want to stop talking about yesterday's game because it just feels so sweet. And of course we've got loads to talk about. Now I could talk about every single player forever, but I've got 5 particular topics. Do please hit the like button, do please help support the channel by let's get to a few hundred likes in this video. Let's subscribe as well and get to 67,000 if you don't mind. And hello, of course, to everyone in the chat, like Jarhead, my mate Adster, Start City there, Guy, to Ryan, to Neve, to Osmodeus, to Harry, to Alela, to Brandon, to Labode, to Mojis as well, and Beppy, and Brandon, and all the rest of you beautiful, wonderful people. Kev's it down for the next week, is it? Is that a thing that I've missed out on? I've been out all day enjoying the sunshine, so if that is in the sunshine, if that's actually a thing, that's news to me. But do you know what? Well, if that is a thing, well, I've got something to talk about that anyway. So we can talk about the potential of what it could mean. I haven't read all the quotes actually. I'm reading all the quotes, and yeah, it's interesting. I'm looking for it. I can't see anything about that. I'm not sure if that's actually true or not, mate, because I've not seen anything online reporting that, so it's not on the aggregators. But anyway, let's dive into the first talking point of this video, and it's very simple. You may already know what I'm about to talk about because it's the title of this video. Ilkay Gundogan is a Manchester City legend. Now, I know that may not be obvious to everyone, but there was a debate going around a few months ago on Twitter talking about Gundogan's eligibility in the legend status. Was he a Manchester City legend? Is he a Manchester City legend? Do we have too many people we call legends? I mean, if there was any doubt, Ilkay Gundogan he's taken that doubt, he's put it in his pocket, he's taken it out, he's smoked that doubt, he's ground it down, he's dusted the ashes into the bin, and he's sent that bin to a volcano which has been burnt up, and that volcano smoke has disappeared out of the atmosphere. There's no doubt. There's absolutely no doubt whatsoever. There's a weird chain of events there. Absolutely. But Gundogan is 100% a certified Manchester City legend. He's done too many wonderful things too many times to not be considered that way. When you really think about what Ilkay Gundogan has done for this Manchester City side, time and time again, just brilliance in the biggest of moments when we needed them. And that is what legends do, you know. To be the captain and get a brace against Manchester United in an FA Cup final, well, you're nearly in legend territory already, because that is the stuff of legends, that United in an FA Cup final. But that isn't the say. That isn't the end. It was that scoring run through 2021 where he took Manchester City essentially to a title, scoring a whole bunch of key goals, and of course as well, there was the comeback against Aston Villa where he scored 2 to win us the league on the last day of the season. Even the run into this season, you know, braces against Leeds and Everton, while playing in different positions, he was pivotal in the 15-game winning streak that led us to beating Liverpool by a point, playing as a number 6 nonetheless. Every position, every moment, Gundogan has pretty much always stepped up. Does Gundogan have a chance? Well, for a while he had Ilkay made the Scousers cry. Ilkay made the Scousers cry. You had that for a while. I saw a new one yesterday going around which I liked. Said, you thought it was yours. You thought it was yours. 30,000 bucket hats. Then Gundogan scored. I love it. I love it. Because all United fans had bucket hats yesterday given out. I absolutely love it. I don't think he has many chances, but he has a couple. Ilkay made the Rags cry. Ilkay made United cry. Rag sounds a bit like wordy. So Ilkay made United cry. I don't know. He's got loads. There'll be something. There'll be something. But either way, he's an absolute fucking legend, and I love the man. hear me out. I sit there and dream about Man City winning the Champions League and then a photo of De Bruyne and Gundogan together holding it like that side by side and that becoming a statue. Do you know what I mean? I think he's done enough to serve a statue if he captains us to winning a treble. Absolutely, Neve. And if you get that photo of De Bruyne and him together, then to me, like that is a perfect what's it called? Two birds with one stone moment where you're thinking, do we give Gundogan a statue? But if there is a scenario where we can actually do that, we can get the two together and just get De Bruyne and Gundogan in a statue. Can you imagine anything more beautiful than that? It would be absolutely wonderful. A guy saying, listen, mate, got to ask, why do all United fans the crowd look like yesterday? They look terrible because they're giving out bucket hats to all the fans, which looked ridiculous, and they're all selling on eBay. I actually don't really agree about too many statues, Sean Hayes. Like, how many of United got, by the way? Like, what statues of Man United got? Because I swear they've got quite a lot, around the ground. So they've got an awful lot, and this is our most, historic time. They've got an Alex Ferguson statue. What else have they got? They've got Matt Busby. They've got the Holy Trinity of George Best, Dennis Law, Bobby Charlton. They've got Dennis Law as well. Like, they've got a few, haven't they, United? I think one more, but of those two together is absolutely worth it because treble is historic status, man. Like, it's the kind of thing that you make a statue for. Personally, I think it. And they're about to unveil a new one of Jimmy Murphy, apparently. So I don't know. To me, I think it'd be fine. Like, right near the front of those two. Just the last one for a while. I absolutely would take it. Second thing I want to talk about, though, away from Gundogan, is that this is already an historic side. We'll talk a lot about the treble. And of course, it'll be painful if we don't manage to win it next weekend. But I already think we've seen a historic Manchester City side. A genuinely historic Manchester City side. What they've done to do a double like this on the back of 3 Premier Leagues in a row is absolutely wonderful. I genuinely think it's wonderful. I think it's wonderful. We are creating our history right now, as Robin said. We really are. And to me, what this City side have done to win a Premier League, do 3 in a row, and then beat United in an FA Cup final. This is history. We've written history right now. If the season finished, it would still be a historic season. Like, it's tempting to say it would just be disappointing if we don't get the treble. It'd be painful, of course, but this is still the stuff of dreams. Pretty much everyone would take this if they asked at the start of the season. For me, this is an incredible Manchester City side that deserves remembering of all time, regardless of what happens next weekend, because there's never been an FA Cup final, a final between 2 Manchester sides, and this has happened, and we won it. Alfie the same, by the way, said you can't not give statues for the treble. I actually agree, by the way. I really do. I think the treble is just. This is ridiculous. Off the back of 3 in a row as well. I don't know. I can't see how you don't. To me, I think this is already something that we should celebrate massively because it's a wonderful time to be a Manchester City fan. Foden Central is the future. So if there are any worries about De Bruyne, which I don't think there are personally. I think people are getting carried away. I really like Guardiola's currently got a tendency to bring Phil on centrally, and he's doing it more and more, and I really like that. And we know he is doing it as well. He's doing it more and more at the moment, and he's bringing Phil on, and he's looking really alive through the middle, which is great. He's looking like he wants to make things happen. He wants to be creative, and he's got that little bit of magic in his boots. And when KDB starts to wind down, I think it's Phil Foden's going to take his place. Like, I think Phil Foden is probably one of the only people in world football that has the magic in the boots to take Kevin De Bruyne's place. There'll never be another Kevin De Bruyne, but there could be the first ever Phil Foden, of what he is, the legend that he is. And I think he has that ability and that wonderful composure to his game to become an incredible world-class central player. To me, he absolutely will be there. And I really liked his cameo yesterday when he came on. He immediately added a bit of quality and a bit of class to the Manchester City side when he came on, and he was pivotal. Guys, let's get the likes up, by the way. Over 150 likes would be great. Only 51 likes and 200 people watching. But Foden, by the way, yeah, absolutely, he should be through the middle, and I think Guardiola's already seen that. I think he's seen the winds of change are blowing, and it could be it could be his time to finally make that move. And I actually think he's going to make that move. And to me, I trust him to do it. I think he's a wonderful player. Grealish did say he was blowing first half because he only trained for 3 days. There we go. Grealish was knackered. And he was also hot, to be fair. It really was. Fourth thing, Stones really is the Barnsley Beckenbauer, isn't he? Bloody hell. If you watched the compilation yesterday of John Stones' performance, but you just sort of blanked him out, and someone said that was Sergio Busquets, would anyone be surprised? Would anyone be surprised? Like, that was watching Busquets yesterday. Honestly, absolutely phenomenal. Like, Stones is just at the moment playing on a level that is just beyond comprehension. I did not think he could get anywhere near this. I really didn't. Like, that turn, the turn against Rashford was just phenomenal. The way he just glided past the whole of Manchester United's forward line. He's doing things right now. He's better than Casemiro. He was the best midfielder on the pitch yesterday. He's a defender. Like, to me, what he's doing right now is just, it's special. It's special. Like, it used to be about a bit of a meme where they were saying that, you know, Stones was the Barnsley Beckenbauer and all that kind of stuff, and it was like sort of tongue in cheek. But it's actually true. It's actually true. He is that good. He is that wonderful. And to me, when you see the quality of that, that he's got right now, he's gone to a level that I would never, ever expect. I didn't expect he would reach this level. I knew he'd be good, but this level of good, it's absolutely on another level right now. The quality of football that John Stones is playing, like, he's up there with Rodri as our pivot in the midfield, and he's just world class. He's absolutely world class. Super chat there from channel YouTube says, I told you last year that Gundogan greater than KDB. Haaland 2 and 10. Haaland's form isn't great right now, but I'm not bothered. I thought Haaland played alright yesterday, actually. He actually did. He had scraps to feed off. I don't think Gundogan's better than KDB. I'm sorry, I don't. As good as Gundogan is, I don't think he is. I think KDB is one of the greatest ever. Gundogan is definitely a wonderful vein of fun, but I don't personally agree with that. But I'm not going to complain about it. It's your take, mate, and it's an interesting one. The next and final point I want to talk about is that I think we have to be better next week. So I'm going to end on a relatively, a really just, kind of like sober note. Like, I think we have to be better next week. I think we will be better next week for what it's worth, but we can't just rock up and be at the same level as we were yesterday and beat Inter Milan. I think City were a little bit rusty. They weren't at the very best. They just weren't at the very best. They were still decent, but to be honest, there were obviously extraneous variables. Like, if the referee had done his job, we probably win that game comfortably in the end. But I am not like really comfortable how City were yesterday. I think we have to be better than that. And to me, it's going to be like fascinating to see what Guardiola does. Like, I think I've got a feeling that this City side will be on another level next week, because I don't see this City side like at the very best yesterday. They looked a little bit rusty. They looked a tiny bit out of their sorts. Like, they need to be a little bit more smarter, a little bit cuter, move the ball a little bit faster. But to be honest, we probably needed that game yesterday. And yesterday was a difficult, feisty game. And it'll be the same against Inter Milan. It was a warm-up, yeah, weirdly. And but I don't think we will underestimate Inter Abode. I think we will be absolutely on fire for this game. And I suspect this City side to come out and be aggressive and be there from the first minute to the last. Because yesterday we deserved to win. But as channel YouTube just said with the super chat, we didn't create many chances yesterday. He said Jack and Bernardo were shut out and we created 0 chances yesterday. We had a couple. Gundogan did play in De Bruyne at one point, and he couldn't quite, not De Bruyne, sorry, Haaland. He couldn't quite get on it. But in general, we weren't creating many yesterday. We weren't creating many, I agree. And we have to be a little bit better at that. And I think we will be. So they're the 5 things that I took. Gundogan is absolutely certified 100% a Manchester City legend. This is already a historic Manchester City side. Absolutely. It deserves to be remembered forever, even without the treble. Foden Central is the future for me. It just is. He's so special there. Stones really is the Barnsley Beckenbauer. What a magnificent player. And we have to be better next week. Just a quick video there, guys. I love you all low. City are double winners. Fucking hell, man. Absolutely wonderful. I will catch you all very, very soon. Tomorrow for another video. I'm going to go live with Asan tomorrow morning. So that'll be good around 10 o'clock. Me and Asan chewing the fat. Lording it over on United. I cannot wait, you beautiful people. Catch you all in a bit. Like the video, subscribe, let me know your 5 things, and I'll see you very, very soon in a bit.